Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife, and today's we're recording this is July 2nd, it's posting on July 3rd. These are kind of important dates because these dates mark the halfway point through a year, which is crazy.
Right.
And we're going to talk all about that, but we thought that we would just kind of sit down and since we're halfway through the year, do a little bit of a recap.
Yep.
Look back, how has the year been? Is it what we expected? Is it different than what we expected? And then kind of look forward to the second half of the year. So this is going to be a little bit of a sit-down, mid-year recap vlog.
Earlier we sat down and we kind of talked about the first half of the year. We made up some categories. So we're going to just jump into that.
We are. And we're just going to start with kind of overall, like how is 2024 so far?
Yeah.
And part of the reason we are doing a mid-year recap is if you guys remember last year, 2023, we went into the year and we had all of these plans and then life happened and just changed the whole year.
The whole year, yeah.
And so this year, how has it been? So Sherri Beth, 2024 so far, how would you describe it?
Fast.
Okay. Talk about that.
Fast. I feel like January was roughly 153 months long.
That is true.
It was so long. And then February, March, April, May, June. Just, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
We blinked and 5 months went by.
It's the craziest thing that we are halfway to 2025.
I know.
It's like this year, it feels like it should be just starting still.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, January was so long, and I honestly just felt like this year, it was just going to be a really long year, but it, like, once we hit February, it's just been like, go, and I don't know why, but it's been crazy.
And it's one of those things, I mean, it's funny, because I think all of us mocked this when we got older.
I know.
You know what I mean? Or when we were younger, when we would think about, like, getting older, people would say, like, oh, time goes faster and faster. It's like, oh, whatever, old people.
No, it totally does.
They were not lying to us.
And the way that my brain works is I'm thinking, okay, so we're 42 and 44. In 40 years, like, do we blink and the entire year is gone? Like, I don't know how can it go any faster than it has because this year has flown by.
This year has flown by. I think if you're going to use the word fast, I'm going to use the word full. But here's what's so interesting is that we went into this year and we actually didn't have a lot of things planned.
Right.
We had a few things on the books and a few things that we expected for this year. But for the most part, our thought was, let's not overplan this year. Let's give ourselves margin. Yet, here we are halfway through the year and it has been a very full year.
Yeah.
But here's what I will say. I feel like we have been able to fill this year with the kind of things we wanted to.
I agree.
It's not been full of bad stuff. It's actually the exact opposite. It's been full of really good stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things, and we've talked about this in a lot of vlogs recently, is that we've been married. So September will be our 19th anniversary.
Yep.
Which is huge.
It's huge, which is crazy.
Also crazy. Also time flying by.
I don't feel like we're old enough to have been married for 19 years.
We're actually quite old.
No, I know.
Okay. And we've talked about this in the videos that we are doing better with our adult routines. Right? Like we are, this
actually
year.
Adulting. I feel like we're doing very good at the adulting.
This year has been the best year of our whole relationship.
I agree.
For that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's been really, really nice. It's actually been one of the highlights to me and it sounds so weird for that to be a highlight, but I feel like keeping up on everything from the house to meals to just laundry, everything. I feel like keeping up on that has given us the margin and the space to like feel lighter and more free in other parts of life.
I agree. Yeah. And I feel like it's also opened up some of that fullness. Like we've been able to do things over weekends or in the evenings because it hasn't been like, well, we have this whole weekend and we're going to have to clean the whole house because we haven't cleaned it in 6 months.
That's right. Oh, sorry. We can't go do that because we have 37 loads of laundry to do.
Correct.
Like we stay on top of it, which has allowed us to.
Right.
Which is great.
Given us the margin to be able to do that kind of stuff. So.
I agree. Yeah. Okay. So let's jump into some of these categories.
Okay.
The first category is very much a you category. And that is reading. Always a category that you just crush.
Yeah.
So, halfway through the year,
Yeah.
are you halfway through your reading goal?
I'm more than halfway through my reading goal. I actually had to up my reading goal, and I'm still more than halfway through that.
Okay, so give us numbers.
I have completed 105 books this year.
Yep.
So my original reading goal was 125. I upped it to 150. I'm probably going to crush that too.
It would appear at the so. I have a little bit different numbers.
Yep.
My reading goal for the year was 15. Mm-hmm. That's 1.5, just so you know. Not 1,500.
No, I know.
Just 15. I have read, as of today, I have finished a book today, I've read 8 books.
Right, and I was going to say, what was your goal last year?
12 or 10? Was it 10?
10.
And so
And you've already finished 8 books this year.
I have, and I'm genuinely enjoying reading, and I am reading books this year that are a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like, I've read 2 books so far this year that are not necessarily in the kind of genre sort of thing that I would typically read.
Right.
And I'm enjoying that.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yep. I'm just proud of you for reading it, and you are enjoying it.
I'm really...
And there's been a few times that I have been coloring in the living room or watching a TV show or whatever, and you're like, I'm going to go downstairs and read.
Yep.
So...
You know this one, always yammering and yapping. I got to leave the room to try to get any reading in. Story of my life. So reading, we're looking good for the rest of the year.
Yep.
That's the hope. We're looking good after the first half of the year. Who frickin' knows what the second half of the year is going to throw at us?
Right.
Let's hope it's
We'll
nothing
see.
bad. Next thing, let's talk travel. So at the start of this year, we really only had one trip booked, and that was our January cruise on the Discovery Princess.
Yep.
We did that one.
The first week of January.
First week of January.
Check.
Ended up getting stuck in California a few extra days because of the Alaska Airlines plane debacle.
Correct.
But we did go on a second cruise that was not even on our radar.
Right.
That was the Seabourn cruise.
That was a Seabourn cruise. That was fantastic.
That is the travel highlight of the year for me so far.
I would agree.
It really was just spectacular.
Yeah.
So we've done 2 cruises so far, the first half of the year. We've also done 2 weekend Princess Lodge trips.
Yes.
Which was great.
Yes.
And your sister.
And my sister did a fun kind of last minute trip up here on a weekend that he was gone.
Where was I? I was actually trying to think of that. I have no idea.
Was that when you were in San Francisco?
That was when I was in San Francisco. That's what it was.
Yeah. So
That's what it was.
Yeah, like we were kind of joking about her coming up here, and she was like, "But wait, really?" And so she did, and it was great. So I got a unexpected weekend with my sister, which was fantastic.
So it's ended up, going into the year, we didn't have a lot of travel on the books, but we've actually ended up being able to travel both like a couple cruises as well as local stuff.
Yeah.
So, successful travel year. And just so you guys know, at the end, after we kind of go through a recap of the year, we're going to look forward a little bit. Like, what's planned, what's coming, what are we looking forward to? So while your sister was here, or maybe it was right before, you got your only tattoo of the year.
I went with my sister.
And that's what it was.
Yeah.
I wasn't here. I don't remember.
Oh, so no, I have gotten 2 tattoos this year. Oh my!
Did your elbow just fall off? You fell down and you're sitting.
It happens often.
That's what we should talk about on the real vlog. How many times has Sherri been clumsy and fallen down? That number is higher than your books.
That you're not wrong.
I know I'm not wrong. I watched. I'm like, why are you on the ground?
I don't know.
You just stand up. Okay, so you got 2 tattoos?
I did, because I went and got this tattoo, and then 1 week later I went with my sister to get my second one. So I was thinking I only got 1 this year, but I've gotten 2. I have you beat.
I've only gotten 1 this year. So
yeah,
clearly I need to get another tattoo.
Correct.
So that's our tattoo so far. Work. We talk about it a lot on the videos. You guys probably already know this. But so far, work this year?
It's been really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been a good year. Busy and not busy and good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a good work year. I'm still happy with my job.
This is your first, like, you've made it through kind of the first year.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the honeymoon phase.
Yep.
And so then it's like, okay, I know what to expect. I've done this all once before.
Yep.
And it's still good.
It's still good. So I'm like settled in and I know what is expected of me and I'm still enjoying it. So
we were actually talking about that earlier, not in relation to this video.
Right.
Just about the difference that this job has made in you.
Yeah.
So cool. My work also going really well. There have been highs and lows, of course, with everything. We've had some hard stuff this year. We've had some really good stuff this year.
Yep.
I'm still really enjoying my job. I have I feel like the second half of this year, work-wise, we'll talk about this a little bit later, is going to be very busy for me.
Yeah.
I'm anticipating the next 6 months just insanity.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing.
Right.
So work so far this year is good.
Good.
Let's talk about health.
Yeah.
You're crushing it.
I have lost 30 pounds since the end of January.
Like books, I am losing. I'm down 10 pounds.
But you're still down.
I am still down, which I'm very thankful for. Yeah. And before we move on to me, I want to talk about you because you really have been very, what's the word I'm looking for? Not necessarily determined, committed.
Committed.
You've been very committed to this.
I believe one of the words you used was militant.
Militant is absolutely a word I've used, but it's working.
Committed. It's working.
Yeah, that's really cool. And one of the things, I mean, we've had to, even this past weekend, go buy Sherri new clothes because your clothes don't fit anymore.
Right.
And so we've had to go buy some new clothes.
This is a new shirt.
That is a new shirt. But also, we're noticing that now you're having the strength and stamina to go do some stuff. We've been able to go on some hikes this year that you, in past years, would never have been able to go do.
Right. Yep.
And so it's not just weight loss. I think that it is more health and reclaiming like the ability to have a quality of life.
Yep. I agree.
The militantness is working.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you.
When I set my mind to something.
I will say that is one thing that people might not know about you is that you could use the word stubborn, but I mean that in the best way.
I'm a rule follower.
And so when you say, or when your doctor tells you, hey, do this,
okay,
you're going to do it. Yeah. It also doesn't help that like our doctor is like a super scary Russian.
She's not scary.
She's the nicest.
So nice.
She's the nicest lady.
She's so nice. But yeah, I mean, she is very like to the point, and I think it goes back to like my school days. Like I want my teachers to be happy with me. I want good grades. I want to be able to like go to my doctor and be like, these are all of the things that I've done, just like you said. So
I think she's a little scary. I think she could beat me up, and that's part of it. It's like I just think
she's so nice.
If things went down in the doctor's office, I'm gonna like let her defend us all because like she really is the best.
She's fantastic.
She's the absolute best. She is one of those things. Sorry, sidetracked. All of the health stuff you went through a few years ago, I'm convinced that one of the reasons all of that happened was so that Dr. G would be a part of your life.
I agree.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Now let's talk overall, because there are lots of other areas of life we could talk about. But let's just talk overall. Scale of 1 to 10, 2024 first half. How is it?
I'm gonna give it a solid 8.
That's a really good score.
It's a good score. I don't hand out perfect scores. Hardly ever.
Oh yeah, you would never give.
If you look at my Goodreads, you would agree.
That is very true.
I read a lot of really good books, but there are very few 5 stars.
So an 8 is a very high score for you.
8 is a very high score for me.
I actually would rate it.
It's been a good year.
I would rate it an 8 as well. And here's what I will say: going into the year, I think my expectations were a 7. It's like we just didn't have a lot that I was super stoked about.
Right.
You know, and a lot of things have popped up, like the Seabourn cruise, like our princess trips, like the progress on health stuff.
Yeah.
There's just been a lot of things that have made this year better than expected.
Agreed.
Is where I think we're both at. So far, thrilled. And then there's things like, you know, obviously my mom's health is doing great.
Right.
The fact, again, like your sister came up, didn't expect that.
Right. So good.
So great.
Yeah.
Now let's look forward to the second half of this year.
Okay.
There are some things that we're both looking forward to.
Yes.
For you, what are they, like the main things? You wrote them down.
We have guests coming that I'm very excited about. I'm also excited to see what the rest of the year brings, because I think like what you said, you know, the whole year we really didn't have anything on the books except for our cruise in January.
That was it.
And it turned out a great 6 months. And so I'm excited to see what the next 6 months brings. Because we had a really good first 6 months.
Is there anything, and this is off script, so I apologize because you don't love it when I do this. Is there anything, like, what are your hopes for the second half of the year? Like, what do you hope for that?
I do hope that we can get some more travel on the books.
I agree.
Yeah, I had a call with my boss this morning, and she was actually asking about that, and I was like, I don't actually have anything on the books. So.
She was asking if you have more travel?
Yeah.
Which is so funny, guys. I feel like we travel a lot.
I know.
And it's so funny that, like, your boss is like, so you got any more trips? Where I feel like most bosses would be like, hey, you need to pump the brakes. You travel a lot. Nope, not you.
He's like, what do you got coming up? And I'm like, kind of nothing.
So we'll have to change that.
I know. So I'm excited for some more travel. I'm excited for more lodge stays.
Yeah, I hope we're able to make that happen.
If we can make that happen. I just really like our lodges, and I like, I think we talked about this on a podcast. I like the weekend kind of reset.
The staycation kind of thing.
Yeah, that it's, it's just different enough from real life, but it's not so far away. It's not like you have to get on a plane and like fly 6 hours somewhere. It's, a couple hour drive, and then we're in a whole different place, and beautiful place usually, and I kind of like that. So
I think one of the things that I'm looking forward to, or that I hope, I'll talk about myself I'm looking forward to, one of my hopes, is I'd also like to see us do a staycation outside of Princess Lodges.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
There's only a few towns that those lodges are in, and I feel like we haven't been to Seward in
a long time. Yeah.
There's other places that we just love that we just haven't gone to.
Yeah.
And what I don't want is us to like get in a rhythm of defaulting to like certain things and missing out on the rest.
I agree with that.
So maybe it'd be fun to plan like even one of those through the rest of the summer.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome.
Yeah.
The things that I am looking forward to, I'm looking forward to my Washington, D.C. trip next month. Next month. I am not looking forward to going to D.C. in August. That sounds miserable. Super hot. But I am looking forward to, so I'm going to this by myself. None of my team is going with me.
Right.
Which is very
unusual.
Which is very normally when I travel, I bring at least one other, sometimes three or four other people, the whole team. So this one's just me, mostly because this, what I'm going back there for, and I might have shared this, I don't remember. It's really focused on kind of the intersection of digital media and trafficking and abuse and domestic violence and stalking and all of that kind of stuff. So, and since I kind of lead that stuff for the organization, I'm the only one who's going. But I'm looking forward because I think that I'll have some evenings free, some time that
for free.
Some evenings for free. And just kind of to be able to get out and do some stuff that is just me. I'm an Enneagram 2. When I travel with my team, or if I travel with you, what is most important to me is that everybody else around me is getting what they want.
Right. Everybody else is taken care of.
Everyone else is taken care of. We're doing all the things they want to do. We're seeing all the things they want to see. And one of the things I have noticed is when I travel by myself, I'm the only one I have to take care of.
Right.
And so it's like, oh, maybe I will go to that baseball game. Maybe I will go just like walk aimlessly.
And even when we travel together, if I'm just like, this is your vacation too, like you're allowed to pick things, you're like, nope.
It's like, nope.
And you'll just specifically choose things that I would like.
Yes, totally.
Even if you will like them too,
Correct.
It's not stuff that, like, we would never do something that only you would like. But we'll do things
if
that
you were with me?
I would like. Yeah.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Absolutely. It goes against everything that I am. I know I just can't do it. I'm sorry. But when I travel by myself, I can.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to the DC trip. I'm looking forward to we don't have details yet. We've been talking a lot about trip with my mom. Hoping that's happening around the holidays this year.
Yeah.
And I will say if that trip doesn't happen, I think I'd like for us to get out sometime around the holidays.
I would agree.
Someplace warmer. Just give ourselves a little bit of a break. One of the reasons I think I will need a break is we have a huge fundraiser for our organization in November, but then sometime right in the middle of the next few months, we're hopefully opening the coffee shop that we've been working on, and that has been consuming a lot of time, and it will only continue to consume more.
Right.
And so there's just a lot of balls in the air that I feel like are all going to hit at once.
Yeah.
And so by the end of the year, I think I'm going to need a break.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to finalize our 20th anniversary trip, which is happening in September of 25.
Yeah.
We have talked a ton about ideas. We've looked at itineraries. We've looked at ideas. But
we have nothing solidified yet.
We have nothing solidified yet because I can't book airline tickets.
Yeah.
And we're going to be using miles wherever we travel to.
Which limits where we can go.
That's exactly right. And so it's like we need to get under a year so we can figure out airline, and then we'll figure out where we're going.
Right.
But it's going to be great, and I can't wait.
No matter what we do, it's going to be fantastic.
I also am super, super, super excited. I got my Seahawks season tickets.
Yes, you did.
And I'm going to 2 games. A game with my dad and a game with a friend. Many of you have already cracked that code and figured it out because you guys are freaking sleuths. But we're not going to talk about it.
Not details yet.
But that's going to be such a great weekend.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We're so excited about that. So I feel like going into the second half of this year, there is more on our plates than going into the first half.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's good stuff.
Yeah.
2024. It's so weird.
You know what's funny is that I keep forgetting about that.
About what?
The other game. Because that's more travel.
Of course it's more travel.
But I just keep forgetting that we have that coming up. I think because it doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. We probably should talk to them about when we can announce it. It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be so fun.
I absolutely can't wait. So yeah, this has been a really good year so far. I'm after the chaos of last year, there's something about the normal of this year that just feels so nice.
Yeah, I agree.
It helps that we've had beautiful weather, been able to sit outside and just enjoy Alaska.
Yeah, the weather, and I think like we're both in good places in our job, and like we talked about with our routine here at home, like I just feel like everything is just more like even keeled.
There's hard things. I mean, we have a dear friend that's moving out of state. There's other things that are changing and in transition.
Yeah.
And so it hasn't been perfect. There's a lot of heaviness behind the scenes.
Right.
But it's good.
More deaths in the family.
More deaths in the family.
Which I'm just really done with.
We're ready for people to stay alive.
If we could just stop with that.
It's been great. Yeah, it's been a crazy few years. You know what I think about? And it's not a perfect illustration, but when we're talking about it, there's that quote in Chronicles of Narnia talking about Aslan. He's not safe, but he's good. Yeah. That's how I feel this year has been. It hasn't been easy, but it's been good. It hasn't been perfect, but it's been good. It hasn't been like ideal, but it's been good.
Yeah.
And so I'm thankful for 2024 so far.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. 2025 feels like a fake number.
I agree with
that.
It
does not feel real.
I know. Yeah.
We need to figure out what are we doing for New Year's Eve. That's a big deal. We're going into 2025.
I know. We're going to have to figure this out.
We're going to figure this out. We're halfway to the year 4050. We're halfway there. You guys, we love you. Here's what I want to know. How has your year been?
Yeah.
In the comments below.
Give us your ranking.
Yeah, want to know 1 to 10. How's your year been?
Let us know things you're excited about coming up.
For the second half of the year?
Things you are glad have happened in the first half of the year.
Love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to know that kind of stuff. So let us know in the comments below. We love being able to go through. We don't have the chance anymore to respond to all of your comments.
Every comment, right.
But we read every single one of your comments.
Right.
So we might not be able to respond to them. Oh, also, one more thing. You got very surprised.
You yelled a little bit.
I didn't mean to yell. I do apologize. I did kind of yell. Here in just like 3 weeks. You know what happens in 3 weeks?
No.
Our 9-year anniversary of being on YouTube.
Oh.
Later this month in July, we will celebrate 9 years on YouTube. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
So you guys, we love you. Thanks for being a part of our community. Thanks for always supporting us, always hanging out, and watching all of the things that this year has brought, and just continuing to hang out with us for all of the things that the year continues to bring.
Yeah.
All right, we love you. Do you guys think I can catch Sherri when it comes to reading books? If you stopped now,
you're very cute.
No, wait. Here's my thought. If you stopped reading right now,
if I
and I started reading little golden books,
I was gonna say, I don't think that you're going to be able to read 97 more books.
Little Golden Books? 100% I could.
Okay.
Little
No, I know
Golden
that,
Books.
but I was thinking you could read Little Golden Books, but I don't think that you could read, like, the novels that I've been reading.
I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength.
All right.
Friends, we love you so much. Thanks for being a part of our community. We'll see you on the next LeggLife video.